Today I'm going to give you my full review of the THL T100S. First, the 5-inch display. It's Full HD 1920 by 1080, and it looks great. Colors are accurate and the display has impressive viewing angles. The display is nice and bright and can be easily viewed in direct sunlight. The Corning Gorilla Glass 3 is also a very nice addition and makes the display much more scratch resistant. After a week of use, I couldn't find a single scratch. The T100S is one of the first smartphones to feature the MTK6592 processor, which is clocked at 1.7 GHz. The processor is octa-core, making the phone extremely fast. I was very impressed with the boot time of the T100S and overall performance. This is, hands down, the fastest phone I've tested. Running a quick test in Antutu shows the device earning high marks, especially in the processor category. Compared to other leading smartphones, the THL T100S beats the HTC One and closely follows the Samsung Galaxy S4. The device also has 2 GB of RAM, making multitasking extremely easy. Perhaps gaming performance impressed me the most, as the T100S has no trouble running big titles, such as Asphalt 8 Airborne. The 13-megapixel rear camera was disappointing and mainly a hit or miss. Some shots were produced okay, and others were simply embarrassing and grainy. Low-light shots were even worse, and I had lots of issues getting an acceptable shot without flash. The camera app also dropped several frames as I moved the phone, a small detail that THL has never fixed. The 13-megapixel front camera, on the other hand, was much better. THL seems to be stepping up their game in the feature department as they have added NFC, or near-field communication. This allows you to share content by placing the phone near another NFC-enabled device. This is very cool and is a great addition. Call quality was good, as you can expect from THL. The phone also has dual SIM, meaning you can use the phone with 2 different mobile operators at once. Although this isn't as useful here in the States, it is often needed for people who travel and want to avoid roaming charges. The phone ships with 32 GB of onboard storage. You can expand that with a microSD card, up to 32 GB. It runs Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, when Android 4.4 KitKat has already been released. I am not sure why the T100S ships with an older version of Android, but I could still use the new KitKat launcher. I'll provide a link in the video description on how to install this launcher. I also tested GPS, and although it did take a minute to find my location, I had no issues using the navigation app. The battery life was good. I found it lasted a good 10 hours with light use, and the percentage didn't jump around like it did on previous THL phones I've tested. The phone is very tall and narrow, and the soft touch back feels great. The sides are glossy and make a nice angular transition. The micro USB and headphone jack are both on the top, which I could live with. The bottom is plain, and both the top and the bottom have a subtle pattern. The front has two small strips of plastic on the top and bottom, and overall give the device a nice look. The bezel on the bottom was a tad excessive for my taste, and I wish THL would have made the device shorter and just used on-screen buttons. The height of the device made it difficult for me to reach to the top left corner, and I had to constantly move the phone to fit my hand. The corners also digged into my hands, and it wouldn't have been such a problem if the device wasn't so tall. Overall, the design is good, but there are a few notable flaws. The phone also comes with a charger, earbuds, and a complete quick start guide. And that brings us to our conclusion. Overall, the phone is great. The display, speed, graphics, speaker, volume, and design make this one of my favorite smartphones. It isn't for everyone, however, but it makes a great phone for entertainment. It's a great value. An octa-core smartphone with dual SIM, NFC, Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and an attractive design for just $309 is a steal. You can buy it